How's it going, everybody? Welcome back. We got Sonic, we got Game Gear. I know y'all are excited for that. But first, since I'm this close, I might as well let this time over. Why not? Let's enjoy a death to start this off. Bye, Sonic. Alright, let's get this show on the road, shall we? Alright, let's rock it. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Alright, starting it off. This is not the Genesis version. We do not have spin dashing. They were probably working on it when this game was released. However, it is not in this game. So you're gonna see a lot of this, roll jumping. That is the fastest way we can get around in this game. Do a little glitch there. If you've seen this before, you know what's coming up. It's everybody's favorite sound. It's the amazing countdown. So, 20 seconds and below, you get 300,000 points. It is the most points you can get. It takes forever to count down. I'm speeding it up, and it's still taking 20 years to go. Sorry you have to sit here through it, but I'll try and make it a little bit quicker. Alright. Underground Act 2, we are playing Best Ending. I do need to collect all of the Chaos Emeralds. In this game, they're all out in the open, and fairly easy to get with maybe one exception. That's later in the run. Just gotta jump up here. Unfortunately, didn't go over that minecart. I still don't know why sometimes you go over it, why sometimes you don't. There's our first emerald. Not only is that important to open up Crystal Egg Zone at the end of the game, it also grants us a continue, which I might need for Crystal Egg Zone at the end of the game. Cat, you are not joining me on commentary. Move. So this is not the simple Master System version. You may have seen me play that in prior marathons. I try and mix it up every once in a while. With this version, we get some interesting boss fights, including this one. Including I've already messed up the manipulation for it. Alright, so this boss is essentially RNG. It's actually based on a timer. Didn't get the pattern I wanted, I got the secondary pattern, so I know exactly how these balls are going to attack me. There's going to be 7 of them. Should start off with a short bounce, yep. Not the pattern I want to see, but all of them are doable. In before I die. This is one of the hardest parts of the game, to be honest. A lot of people couldn't, get through this casually, myself included. Well, I got through a couple times when I was younger. Focus for a moment. Got through a couple times, I then got bodied on Sky High. Oh! And that's why I don't like that pattern. That was bound to happen at some point. Let's try that again. And this is why my estimate is so long. That's what I wanted to do. Alright, now I'm getting the pattern that I know and I'm comfortable with. So yeah, on the Master System version, you have a lot more screen space. You also, with this boss, have consistent bounces. You can see them coming. You can jump over them. Forgive me for trying to focus. I kind of don't want to take another death here. Well, I still have plenty of lives. You know, it's slow. 2 more. Alright, now this one I could jump over. Like that, jump over on both. So I'm used to that pattern. That's the one I wanted, and that's also the quickest way you can get to the boss. Alright, now we're finally getting the heck out of Underground Zone. Believe it or not, there is game after Underground. Alright, so in the Sky High, and as you can see by the picture, we get the amazing hang glider to deal with. Everybody's favorite. Mostly because a lot of people couldn't figure this out. I certainly couldn't because I didn't read the manual. It's actually really easy to use. Alright, so when you grab the hang glider, it's just a matter of tapping left. You can't see it, but I'm just tapping left every second, every couple frames, something like that. And you keep your height. If you're holding right, you're just gotta take a nosedive down to the bottom. Can you believe we have 3 Game Gear games? I know. Game Gear is getting some extra love. So, next emerald right here. Honestly, probably the hardest one to get. At least to me. Jump right there. Missed the cloud. Alright, time for another death. I'm not joking when I say this is probably the hardest emerald to get. We might be using a continue pretty quickly. Alright, I think that's good. There we go. Sends it right into the emerald. I don't even know a backup for that. Let's just get it. Missed the cloud I was going for. Hit the spike pit. Even with that, this is still the fastest stage in the run. That's me doing a pause glitch. I briefly mentioned it earlier. When I pause after hitting a signpost, the timer continues to increment, and so in a marathon setting, it helps out with RTA time. It wouldn't help during a run because we use in-game time, but it helps get a lower time bonus. The Game Gear small screen is the destroyer of worlds, as well as destroyer of batteries. You know what I'm talking about. Alright, coming up on our next boss. Another absolutely amazing boss when you can't see anything. Alright, purposely left the one egg, it just helps set this up a little bit better to me. Want to make sure this stays on screen, and if you hit him quick enough... 6 hits, by the way. You hit him quick enough, he will never attack. Once he attacks, it's kind of like a homing missile. And it's a little bit difficult to dodge, so if you can stun lock him before he attacks, that's great. But those little birds especially could just absolutely destroy you if you're not quick about it. The way I did it was very quick, that's what I wanted to do. Alright, into Aqua Lake. So, we can bounce along the water. Kinda neat. Going through the loop, and I'm gonna hold down, get a lot of speed, and if all goes well, right about here, boom, didn't work. You can hold left and get a real nice swag ending. As it is, I got pretty much the best backup you can get. If you were to end up at the top right, you're just gonna be sitting there going, wait, the screen stopped, where's the signpost? It's not going to end. Alternatively, there's a long spike pit at the bottom you do not want to fall into. It's gonna cost you an extra 10-15 seconds. Aqua Lake 2, I love this track. Or this act, rather. If we were playing Master System. Alright, waited for an audio cue there. Pressed right a hair late, so I'm gonna have to take this lag machine here. If all had gone well, I'd have made it across the pit, would have bounced off the enemy, kept a lot of speed up through this part. Yeah, soundtrack for this game actually is pretty good. I was reading a comment about the track, and then, yeah. Alright, so these bubbles, you can control their speed by holding up to go faster, down to go slower, which we'll do here in a couple seconds. You can also go left or right. Once you hit something, the bubble gets destroyed. Alright, very important I remember this is best ending, because I got an emerald coming up that's a little bit out of the way. You don't want to miss any emeralds in this run. God, this is the lag hallway. It is horrendous to get through. So I gotta take this bubble up. Slightly different route than I would for Master System here. Just because of the way the water is. Gotta take us all the way to the top, and then I'm gonna go down a tunnel up ahead. And this tunnel is going to take me to the emerald. I'm holding left. You can change your directions at certain intersections in here. There's the emerald. Gotta go back through, hold up to go exactly where we came from. Because you might have noticed at the start of the stage where I just went through the floor, like, you know, it wasn't there. You have that in this game. Kind of fake walls, fake floors, and there's a fake wall right here. Okay, always nervous about that gap. It is a nightmare. But that takes you right to the end of the stage, skipping probably half the stage. It's a nightmare to get through. I mean, that's completely intended. There's no glitch there. It's meant to be like that. So here we are at Act 3. We get the Mecha Seal this time. Alright. Got that. So defeat this, jump, and I'm gonna do this. It didn't quite work like I wanted, but you'll see it again in a moment. Do this to stop him. And you can get some quick hits that way. Because of the Game Gear's smaller screen space, it's hard to chain all 6 hits. So I typically will alternate, just to make it easier. You don't want to stand next to him, because if you do on this version, he does what has kind of been coined a tail whip, and it's pretty accurate. I believe that's it, yes. And he'll just absolutely wreck your face, because on Act 3, there are no rings in this game. Also important to note, in all acts of this game, there are no checkpoints. You have to do it all in one go. Alright, so on to the first stage of almost every other Sonic game, Greenhills. Kinda like this stage. This is, congratulations, have some extra lives if you made it this far. And you know how to get them. Going to roll right there. Should put me on top of this loop. There's another extra life there. It's probably all I will be collecting. There's a couple others in the stage that are easy to get, but they're a little bit out of the way. There's no need to get them. Didn't get the jump I wanted. Oh, but I got the backup jump. Okay. You could jump to the top of that ledge. It's a very tight window to make it. But I didn't fall in the spike bit. That's the important part. And that was Greenhills 1. These stages go by pretty quick. As it stands, we are pretty much halfway through the run. Believe it or not. Even though we're only 10 minutes in. Greenhills 2, I absolutely hate the start of this stage. If it goes well, like it did, you'll jump off there, have immense speed, and just blast through all this. Gonna hold left again, jump, and it works out perfectly. Another emerald coming up, don't forget it. So gonna slow down a bit here, hold right, miss it, and have to go back and do it again. This emerald's kind of nice in that if you do what I did and miss it, you could just... Alright, I'll go back to the hill game. Fine, you're forcing my hand. Game, please! Yeah, at least this one, you could just retry. So it's not a big deal that I'm missing it, just a time loss. I'll add this to the list of things I should have practiced before this run. Alright, that's... Alright, now this is just bad. I'm trying not to overshoot, and that's what I keep doing, so... Remember, y'all, I'm still underestimate. That's the important part of this. What the heck? Okay, it's not normally this bad. Okay, this is just comical at this point. Sit back, relax, hope you enjoy. That's what I wanted to do. Wow. I can't say it's ever taken me that long to get to that emerald, but of all emeralds to consistently mess up, that's gonna be the best one, because as you can see, you could just redo it. Whereas, you know, Sky High 2, I just had to take a death. So this is probably one of the worst stages in the game. Already off to a bad start. We'll see if I survive it. Oh, that's actually... Oh, that was pretty good. Pretty lucky. So, most of what you're not seeing is spikes. So, casually, this is just horrible. You can easily fall and die. You have an RNG boss that's a nightmare on this small screen. Gotta be careful not to get hit by him, and I'm also trying to get 2 hits in when I can, when RNG cooperates. What was that, 5 hits? That's either 5 or 7 right there. Okay. Not good RNG, but we got through. That is honestly one of the scariest stages. It's not too bad to get through consistently in a speedrun. Casually, if you've made it there, that's where I've seen a lot of people just give up on the game. Honestly, one of the better Greenhills ones I could have asked for. Gimmick Mountain. We got a nice convenient spring here. Interesting to note that is not in all versions. Jump, thank you. Not in all versions of the game. That was added in a revision, which is... there's one on Master System, there's also one, as you're seeing on Game Gear, because you can actually casually soft lock without that spring. You would not do that in a speedrun, though. Alright, so I grabbed this invincibility. Gotta deal with all this lag. It just helps with a trick coming up. Let's not jump into that cart. Going to turn around here instead of taking a minecart to the bottom right of the screen and climbing up and having to take another minecart. And we're here at the end of the level. It is possible to do that spike pit without invincibility, but it's an extremely tight window. One small mistake and you're dead. And as mentioned before, there are no checkpoints, so you'd have to go through the whole thing again. For the amount of time it takes to get the invincibility, it's not a bad thing to do. Alright, grab a ring, because I'm notorious for landing in the spikes there. And watch out! Fake walls. If you couldn't find the emerald in this stage, that's probably why. It is through that wall. Oh. I'll take that. Didn't actually want to roll. Didn't bring it up earlier, but if you walk into the emeralds, you stop and lose all your momentum. If you roll, you keep on going through it. So there are times that you want to roll through it, and there are times that you want it to stop you. That's one of those cases where you want it to stop you, because you then need to turn around to go back through. Alright, didn't fall down. That's the important part of that section. It's really easy to fall down and lose a lot of time. You gotta climb back up. It's possible to jump over those bombs. Another tight window. Unfortunately, it didn't get any of them. That is the last Chaos Emerald we will be picking up in Act 2. The one in the next zone, you'll acquire in Act 3. You'll see what I mean here in a couple minutes. First, we have to go through the closest thing this game has to an auto-scroller. Gimmick Mountain 3. Probably my least favorite stage because of, well, it's an auto-scroller. Missed the spike pit there. This platform you want to keep on screen, or close to being on screen. You do not want it to despawn. But you can't just stand on it, because, look, it tries to crush you and kill you. It's important to keep this with you. As mentioned, it'll despawn if it's too far off screen. You have to take it to get through all these spikes to get to the boss. And speaking of the boss, we're finally here. Gotta let him bounce on the side of the screen. Get a hit, ideally as quick as I can, because I want to avoid those falling rocks. And if you hit him quick enough, there are no falling rocks. You don't want to hit him too quick, though, or you'll jump into the spikes and die. And with this being essentially an auto-scroller, you'd have a long ways to go to get back here. One more hit. So yeah, the first 3 bosses, I'll take 6 hits. The next 3 bosses, I'll take 8 hits. The final boss will take 9 hits. You might hear some thunder outside. Knock on wood. Don't have any issues. Alright, so if we were playing any percent, we'd be entering our last few stages now in Scrambled Egg. We also got amazing soundtracks coming up. So notice how I've rolled into that pipe, and as a result I continued rolling uphill. You're going to see that again in a moment. It's kind of nice, your speed increases going up the hill. Because that makes a lot of sense. So right here, rolling in, we're going to go up a hill here on the left. And just keep our momentum. Go into this pipe. This here is a maze. Gotta go left, left, down, down. Or else you're going to end up not where you want to be. Go into this pipe. Gotta go for a trick up ahead that, for reasons still unknown to me, doesn't want to work most of the time on Game Gear. Right here, if all goes well, didn't go well. Okay. So what I try doing is this platform will, on Master System, works every time. It'll spawn on the left, and you don't have to do what I did there and wait for it. Down, right, down, left, through this. And that's the end of this stage. Unfortunately, with the platform not spawning for me, like I wanted, it does cost a bit of time. One day I will figure out exactly what causes that. Scrambled Egg Act 2, I hate this stage. Nothing good to say about this stage. If all goes well, I won't have dropped inputs. Good, made it through the bomb section. That's actually the hardest part of this stage, getting through that. So many dropped inputs can happen there. We're just gonna go over a chunk of the stage, up the top route, fall down here, and take this platform. which this platform is going to accompany us till the end. I'm going to go through here, go around the loop once, and that puts it so that platform reappears over here. Okay, and right there, another place that can just eat your inputs because of the lag, and you'll just fall into another spike pit, and you'll die. Anytime I get through that stage first try is a good time. Alright, so on to the final boss of any percent, and in my opinion, one of the easiest bosses in the game. Like, if you get here casually, there's a good chance you're going to beat the game. Just because it's a little on the forgiving side. I wanted to hit that. Alright, that's right. I did skip a spring by getting on that platform. You're not really meant to do that, but you can. 5 more springs to take. Hold right, go back in here. By the way, I love the Game Gear boss music. It's different than the Master System, but this one's much better in my opinion. So, Silver Sonic takes 8 hits, as previously mentioned. He is also RNG, and so far, he has given me really good RNG. Really good RNG. I probably could have beaten him by now, honestly. And watch closely. If you have all the emeralds up to this point, you will get the Last Chaos Emerald from Silver Sonic. And that leaves 3 more stages. The next one is, in my opinion, one of the easiest. Crystal Egg Zone. Act 1. If I don't die... Okay. It's never a good time when I miss the rings at the start. So there's a long spike pit at the bottom here. If you fall into it, you can just hold right and get to the end of the stage by recollecting your rings. I've seen a lot of people struggle with it, but it's really easy. I'm gonna make y'all suffer through a 300,000 point bonus, because why not? But the music here, when I first heard it, I really did not like it, but it has grown on me. It's one of my favorites now. Act 2 is, I'd say, my favorite stage in the game, in the run. It is a little bit on the longer side, not the longest, but it's also not hold right and you'll be at the end of the stage. I think that's why it's grown on me and I like it. Let's jump right there, roll jump onto that spring, and that allows us to clear that gap. I'm gonna let go of left, and if all goes well, it did not. I wanted to land on that ledge, but now we have these moving flywheels. These things are absolutely horrible, as you can imagine. Let's go behind the stage. Jump over some pits you can't see. Skip that. And almost here at the end of the stage already. Not a terrible stage, I suppose. Certainly not great. Gotta climb up here. Land on that spring. Don't get hit by an enemy you completely didn't even see there. And here we are. And next up is where the run goes to die. Congratulations, you've made it this far. Now you get the final boss. What I'm going to try and do is attack him so quickly he never attacks. If he does attack, I might take some intentional deaths here. He's going to attack. Alright. I actually wasn't trying to die there. So, when he attacks, it's just a bad time. It is possible to do this with a backup strat, but it takes much longer. Let's try that again. Much better. Okay, I'll take it. Because that is time. If the timer would stop. Please. Pause. There we go. Live split while you do this. And now you've made it this far. This is your best ending. We have saved Tails. That final boss truly is a nightmare. It's nice to get a second try. I have bad luck in marathons. I've never gotten it first try. So I'll take a second try. But you can see how fast I hit him. He just wasn't able to get his attacks off. It is a tight window to do that. And now you actually get the great music where you save Tails. In Master System, you don't get this music. Oh, good lord, you probably heard that thunder. So I might have finished right on time here. But here you go. I hope everybody enjoyed. It's a really fun game to run. if anyone's ever interested, like for me, it was all about getting revenge on my childhood. I could not beat this game when I was younger. I would highly recommend checking out the Master System version where you can actually see where you're going, and it's less dumb. It's honestly kind of fun. A lot of people are intimidated by this game, just because of the bosses. They feel it's a huge challenge and they don't want to try it. But it really is fun. It does need more runners and more love. That is going to be it for me. Coming up next, we've got Garfield Caught in the Act by Jangle Storm, and then X-Men Game Master's Legacy by Smelly McTroll. More Game Gear games. Heck yeah. But I gotta go. I gotta plug in this Game Gear before it dies. So thank you, everybody, and stay tuned for some more Game Gear love.